Y'all got it right. As you look up on this episode, I'm going to talk about why I no longer pay cars off cash. I've been gone for a while. Now I'm back in it. Been gone for a couple of episodes, but I'm glad to be back and to talk to you guys and girls. So if you're catching this live or the playback, y'all know what time it is and what it is to do. This is just something personal I want to get into that I learned over time that may be able to help somebody else. All right. So if you haven't done so already, I know what time it is. Please go ahead and make sure.
Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. Hit that like, comment, and share button.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you're now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from this beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we're going to jump straight into it. Yes, I have been gone for a little while, but now I'm back in it, and this is something that's set on my heart and chest for a while. As I'm getting older, I'm 37 years old. I want to share my financial experience with a lot of guys and girls that are out there who may be going through the same thing, looking to join the military, looking to kind of follow the path that I have. I think that that's very important because that's information I wish I would have got out myself. So here's the first thing, ladies and gentlemen, something that I did not understand. I'm going to get straight into it. A couple things I didn't understand. Just recently, my last vehicle that I brought, hold on, I got a comment here. It doesn't tell me the name. I don't know why it's not telling me the name on Facebook. Whoever on Facebook, appreciate you for tuning in. Definitely appreciate you. So here it is, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the last vehicle that I purchased was, I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago. I brought a Dodge Ram, fully loaded Laramie edition Dodge Ram, nothing fancy, right? And I want to say the car with taxes and everything was about 50 grand. And before this time, let me back it up so you guys and girls can understand. My parents, right? My dad, shout out to my dad. One thing my dad always did, he always drove old trucks and old vehicles. Anybody out there that knows my pops, right? When I was younger. And I would ask why. He would say, son, you save money. You can save money this way because you can pay the car off and you don't have a car note and you can put the money in savings, all these other things like that, right? And when I went back and said that, I can't say your name here, but shout out to you over there on Facebook. What's going on? So my dad always told me, son, you can save money. Pay a car off cash. You can save money. You can put that money in a savings account. Get you a little cheap car you can pay off, things like that. And that's the way I was kind of raised. So in my younger years, as I served in the military, I would purchase a car and I would do everything in my power to pay that car off so I don't have a car note, right? Which was okay, which was fine. But as I understand things called time value of money, opportunity cost, I look back on it and say, hey, I wouldn't have done that. That wasn't a wise decision. Why? Because now if you are extremely wealthy and you're extremely rich or whatever, this conversation is not for you. But if you're the everyday person, you're coming up, you're that middle class, upper middle class range. This is a very good thing I want you to think about. So my last vehicle I purchased was, it probably out the door probably was about 50 grand, right? And when this truck cost me about 50 grand, I could have went in and said, hey, I'm going to pay this truck off cash and then no longer have a car note. The car note is going to be $800 a month or $700 some dollars a month. I could take that $700 a month and save it, put it into my savings account, XYZ. I did not do that. Why? Because I evaluated this time value of money. 50 grand today, put into a savings account, compounded on it, according to bankrate.com, the average savings account is 0.13%. 0.13%, $50,000 a day. What would its value be in 10 years, in 5 years? The average, car loan, right? $50,000. What would it be worth in 5 years? With inflation running at 9%, what would this 50 grand be worth in 5 years? I didn't do that exact math, but I know that 50 grand, you can do it and to see that 50 grand will be worth less and less and less every year, right? If I take 50 grand and I put it on top of my truck, what would this 50 grand investment be worth in 5 years, right? And those are things, what this value of this $50,000 will be worth in the future. compared to other things I can do with it. So when I looked at that time value of money, I knew this would not be a good investment to pay off a vehicle cash, whether it was $50,000, $20,000, $30,000. Second, number two, opportunity costs. This is the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is, what else can I do with $50,000? I can put $50,000 and buy a bunch of land. I could buy land with $50,000. I can take $50,000 and put it inside of an index fund. I can take $50,000 and start a business, right? I could take $50,000 and do a numerous amount of things that will potentially make me more money in the future. Or I can take $50,000 and buy a 10-year bond that's compounding at 3% a year, right? That's the baseline that investors use. What is the 10-year bond? The 10-year bond, $50,000 compounding at 3%. I don't know what the 10 years right now, top of my head. I think it's 2 or 3. 3% a year. What is that going to be worth in the future? So that was the opportunity cost. What else can I do with the 50 grand? What else can I do? Right? So I knew paying off a car. Let's do the math. I pay off the car according to, I did my research here. If I pay off a car, according to a Dodge Ram depreciates 31% in 5 years. That means my $50,000 investment that I would have paid off this car cash, in 5 years, this car would be worth $34,000. So that $50,000 is now worth $34,000 in 5 years. Then in 5 years, guess what? As the car's a little bit older, now you're getting maintenance problems starting to happen on an older vehicle, right? So that's why I did not do it. That's one reason. The other thing is, with the opportunity cost, I can take $50,000, put it in an index fund, S&P 500. Let's say if it compounded 7% a year for 5 years. If it compounded 7% over the next 5 years, it will be worth $71,000. If I just put in an S&P 500 index fund and it compounded 7%, let's assume in that 5-year period, I got 7% a year. I understand that it can go down, up, or whatever. But let's say if I had 7% a year, and it would be worth $71,000 in 5 years versus paying off the vehicle. Now it's only worth $34,000 in 5 years. The other thing is, if I pay off the car, instead of paying a car note, I can do like my dad and just put it into my savings account. Now, if I take $800 a month and put it into a savings account that compounds at 0.13% a year, which is the average savings account according to bankrate.com, my $800 a month that I was putting to the side will be worth $48,000 in 5 years. So you see, if I save the money in 5 years, it will be worth $48,000, not even $50,000. If I save the money and it compounded at 0.13%. If I invest, even if I paid off the vehicle cash in 5 years, the car is only going to be worth $34,000, meaning I lost 31% if I pay the vehicle off. If I invest the $50,000 in an S&P 500 index fund that compounded at 7% during that 5-year period, I'm up 42% at $71,000. My $50,000 turned into $71,000, increasing $21,000. So when I saw this, I learned this. I said, hey, you know what? I'm better off letting my money grow and work, putting it to work, and making the payments on the vehicle. On top of that, if I ever hit a hard time in life, if life ever got bad, I can let that truck go. The only bill I care about every month is the mortgage. Everything else is I can live without. I can live without the internet. I can live without a vehicle. I can catch a bus, or I can catch a ride, or I can catch an Uber to the nearest library and use the internet if I had to. I can use a Google phone to make phone calls if I needed to. So there's so many ways you can live. So internet's not important to me. All these other little insurances, that stuff's not important. The roof is important. I can do without everything except a roof over my head. Now, with that being said, that's why looking at the time value of money of paying off a car today, what is that value of that's going to be in the future? You can do it with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Then plus, as the vehicle gets older, it's more of a liability because at any time the engine can go, the transmission can go, the AC can go, the tires can go, the XYZ. So now 5 years later, my $50,000 is only worth $34,000, and the wear and tear is increasing as the vehicle gets older. So that's why I no longer recommend or pay for a car cash. I just accommodate to have a car note, right? Pay the car note. If the car gets paid off in 5 years, good on me. If the truck gets paid off a car, whatever, then I can continue to drive it. But paying it off automatically, looking at the time value of money, doesn't make sense. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment box and the description box. My name is Prince Dykes. I'm going to keep this information coming for you. If you haven't done so already, go down to that description box. Check out my book drive that I'm doing to give kids investing, credit, and insurance books that I've written over the years to kids all across the globe. Every dollar you're donating will be matched by the Contribute app. If you want to support me, you like my calls, you like what I've been doing over the 9 years stronger podcast, I help you any type of way, please go to the Contribute app in the description box and make a contribution. You can make a contribution of $1, $2, 50 cents, whatever the case may be, $2,000, $2 million, whatever is laid upon your heart. So, but thank you. And to the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever is crazy y'all see me do around the globe. Y'all know my name is Prince Dykes. Peace, be safe. I'm out. Thank you.